What's going on, y'all? This is your boy, your Don Israel, back with another episode of Lit, the premier platform for all things literary, swaggy, and otherwise. Today's guests, on both sides of me, I got the Griggs Brothas, the super dope Griggs Brothas. We got Chris on my left, probably your right when you're watching it, and then we got Clayton on my right, probably your left. I had to separate them because they twins, not identical, but these motherfuckers look alike. But they do some shit that lets you know that they different. Chris always got his hair up. Clayton got his hair down. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for coming, brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you for having us.
Being here. So what we always do is a literary swag. We have people stand back against the step and repeat. We walk people through the fits.
Okay.
Y'all swags have always been super blessed up. Mm-hmm. Walk us through the fits y'all got on. You got to stand up.
Okay.
We gotta back up. We gotta stand up. Chris, you too, nigga. Look what you doing. All right, so yeah, walk us through the fit.
All right, I'm just rocking a little Supreme.
Okay, I got it.
Queen Omega.
We tight in here.
And
Yeah.
King Alpha shirt.
All right.
Homegirl made. You know what I mean? Over at the wonderful Supreme.
Okay.
And some Carhartt chinos I got that I embellished with some embroideries.
All right.
Of our own with little Rosses, some Star Davids.
Huh.
And then I got some Tomos. I'll take them off so you guys can see.
You gonna put your sneaker on the floor.
That's cool.
Boom.
Some Tomos. The
Swag.
homie from Japan made them. They're awesome. 360 sole.
Yeah.
On a nice old school German upper. So, you know what I mean? These are fire.
Not Margiela.
Not Margiela.
Think, you know what I'm saying?
Know your history, know your shoes, know your shit. You feel me? Before you put it on. So, these are awesome. Some tight work. Thank you, Tomo. You the man.
Hey.
Tomo.
And then my man Clayton, what you got? What you rocking with?
So we have a one of a kind Griggs Brothas piece. New Way of Life, Rasta, and the Metallica font. You know what I'm saying? Then we got some other Carhartt.
Star David.
David. We got the Lion of Judah. And we got our Rasta. Got a dope pen from the homies King with Style. You know what I mean? And then I got some other Japanese things on. You know what I mean? Gotta stay comfy.
Yeah, those are super. The Posturepedic shoe.
You know what I mean?
Posturepedic slipper.
Yes.
All right, brothers. Thank y'all for joining me. We gonna have some of this. I got this Martinelli's Duce mix up. But we gonna get into. Tell us who the Griggs Brothas is. People who don't know.
So the Griggs Brothas, we're just two brothers that, love fashion, love culture, love all things related, whether it's music, movies, just everything, anything and everything that has to do with culture and a positive movement and love and oneness, we're about it. So that's really who we are, That's what we try to portray to the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just so everybody know, Clayton got the dud mic. We got him. We treated him like Paul in that Temptations movie. He was drunk. So it's really this mic that works. This is just for aesthetic purposes. But y'all grew up in D.C. Yeah.
Yes.
Shit is squeaky as fuck. Shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ignore my chair.
It's okay.
Yeah. Y'all grew up in D.C. Mm-hmm. What part?
All over. Really, like Tacoma Park area.
Okay.
And then we moved out to Silver Spring. That's where we went to high school.
Y'all play football?
Play football.
What'd you play?
What, like position?
Yeah.
Oh, I played DN, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Safety, wide receiver.
Okay.
Mostly safety.
All right. Y'all was good?
It was all right.
It was all right. That's why we're in fashion now.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know your strengths.
Yeah, literally. Oh, he was like, man, you want to make the jerseys? Fuck, running, like,
straight up.
When you see a couple people get hit a couple times, and you're not that big.
It's all good.
Nah.
Hang them up. You know what I'm saying?
So, how did y'all make the transition to fashion from high school? From doing football, I remember y'all talked about having that class.
Yeah. So basically, we, during high school, playing football and stuff. You sit back and think like, all right, other than football, they always tell you, think about something else other than sports that you would like to do, just in case, a fallback. They always do with the fallback. So we're like, all right, what would I want to do if I wasn't playing sports?
Right.
I love dressing up. I love wearing clothes. I love making clothes. So why not? You know what I mean? And then they had this program called Fashion X in our high school that a few of our seniors at the time developed.
Yeah.
And it was like awesome because we were able to make our own garments. It wasn't like other schools where you do a fashion program and you go out and buy garments and then you have a fashion show. It was like a thing where you actually had to make at least 5 to 6 pieces of your own that then in time you have a fashion show with your 5 or 6 pieces. So it was really inspiring, and then it kind of gave us that like we could do this. You know what I mean? That kind of like fire and, you know, that belief from other people. So it kind of like propelled into this awesome fashion thing that we're in now, you know?
Word. Now, was this because y'all twins, not identical? Did y'all arrive at this decision at the same time?
I think so. I think it was like a mutual thing that we both found the love in a certain way of just like putting together our own things.
Okay.
And having awesome mentors, having an awesome mom who's like willing to put us in positions to, you know, do what we wanted to do, whether getting fabric paint, whether doing whatever it was to help us, you know, keep the drive going or the creativity going.
Okay. So, for people who do not know, let everybody know out here, y'all do a lot of customization. And I know y'all both have like a very interesting path of how y'all came into customization. Clayton worked at Ralph Lauren.
Yep.
You did Nike customization. Right. How did that, what was the things for y'all that was like customization is key to this fashion shit?
Well, first it was a thing where Ralph Lauren wanted to develop their whole like make your own program. So basically you would come to the store or go online and they had patches and things you can choose from, or you can like monogram your own name.
Yeah. So
we started to see that, like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? That was just like a cool new thing that they kind of were always doing, but not in a big way. And then Chris was able to start a space called Nike 255 Custom Studio, which was basically Nike ID, but for clothes. So instead of shoes, you were just customizing clothing with Nike. So he was like one of the first employees there. And while I was working at Ralph Lauren, it was like, wow, like, look at this cool thing that Nike's doing, because you got machines, you can like really design your own product, and it's not such like a pre-made thing. Yeah. So then we started to see that and was like, wow, this is really interesting. And, you know, as I'm working with Ralph and Chris is developing the Nike space, we started to see like, hey, like we need to, everybody needs to go to the Nike space, because this is really the next step, because we're able to actually design whatever we want. Yeah. It wasn't so,
you know, obviously limited, but
right.
But how did y'all even get into a space like this? Because I remember like when Polo customization came out, the closest I could get to it was staring at it on the internet, and I would make a shirt that had my initials on it, but I would never put it in the cart and buy it. So how did y'all on the other side get into this? How did y'all finesse this?
Honestly, just through great relationships. I had a really, really awesome mentor and a guy I was working for at the time, named Dawi Chow, and he was pretty much my plug into the situation. And, you know, I just did what I had to do to keep it and make it work. Show them that I was,
You had to kill somebody?
No.
You do what you had to do.
More or less, just, you know, actually rising to the occasion, like doing cool work, like actually being creative. And luckily, I was good at sewing. I understood processes of making clothes before going in there. I didn't know every little thing. I didn't really know how to use an embroidery machine. I didn't really know how to use a laser machine or any of these other machines that we ended up getting and using. But I become pretty good on all those things. So it was a way that I was able to, you know, make my craft better and then see something in the market that was missing, which was customization. Yeah. And a level that, you know, people enjoy the brands that they buy. So it's like, in a sense of, if I enjoy this brand and if I can feel something that's personal from this brand, where it can be, I decided that colorway, or I put my name on it, or whatever, I put my kid's name on it. And, you know, those things bring more value to the brand than it would be if I would just go in the store and just buy a T-shirt. So it's like you start to see how people are reacting and how people were engaging and then wanted more and more and more of it. So it was like, wow, this is bigger than just me selling somebody something. It's like I'm almost changing someone's life. I'm allowing them to be creative. Yeah. I'm allowing them to step into a space they've never stepped into before, because you're always just purchasing the clothes. You're always buying into the brand and never being a part of the brand. So I think that accessibility to be a part was a thing that really gave me more of an attention to want to be a part of it and not just like, oh, this is something cool I'm doing for right now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You know, I think what's ill is that I don't know, when did y'all come into the customization like scene? Because what was that, like around 06, 07 is when customizing became like a thing? Like,
yeah,
when
for
Nike ID
shoes,
and
for
shit,
shoes,
like,
it was like end of 05 into 06. I would say it really started for the shoes.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I could totally be wrong. Somebody can chime in from the other end. But for us in the custom lab, it was like the almost the end of 09.
Yeah.
So 09, like November 09 or so.
Okay.
Was when we really started that, and then from there on, it's just been like this constant elevation of what can we do, how can we make customization better, how can we work with a different brand or work with different brands that understand it and want to make it something really dope and cool. So from Nike, we both ended up working at Nike, and then I brought him over from Ralph Lauren, and it was a really good thing. And then we opened a space called when that space died down, we opened a space called Stadium, Bowery Stadium.
Okay.
We did that for a little while. It was mostly like destroyer jackets when the varsity jackets came hot again. And
Yeah.
What was that, like 13, 14, something like that. And then we kind of took it on the road and kind of did major events and then did all kinds of different festivals and things like that.
Okay.
I said festivals, I'm sorry. Different camps and other things for Nike and, different projects and things they had going on.
Yeah.
And then from there, we opened our own space at opening ceremony, which was awesome. It was a great experience to kind of have our own thing, really, have that higher end fashion vibe in a sense, because the clientele is a lot different than the Nike clientele.
Well, how would you
Obviously.
describe the difference?
Just Nike clientele is so vast. I mean, you could have
Excuse my chair. This shit is squeaking the fuck
you could
up.
have from a 4-year-old to a 90-year-old person is going to invest in Nike and buy into the brand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the vastness of the consumer is really where that brand is obviously why they're on top. But a brand like Opening Ceremony is such a niche market, and it was still so engulfed in the fashion world that it was a great step for us to show customization works in any arena, whether it's lower end, more or less like middle America kind of brand, like a Nike that just kind of kills this middle America vibe, to really being able in this niche market of like cool, hip, young, up and coming fashion, entrepreneurs and brands and things like that. And just creatives. I mean, so many amazing creatives and amazing people walk through those doors. I mean, they have two great owners, in Carol and Berto, who are awesome creatives and are willing to always, take that weird step into like something that no one would think is possible or even people would like, which I enjoy so much about the brand is like, I'm a big risk taker. I'm willing to like, step out there and just, step out there and do what maybe some people think is like not right or unbelievable, or why are you doing that? But it's like you gotta take risks if you want a high reward. You can't just like sit back and expect shit to just work out.
And we was talking, the whole time off camera, we was talking about the price of high risk and what happens when like us as creatives, we have the ability to be creative at a high risk, but the thing everybody need, niggas ain't got, is this money. And so, what was it like for y'all? Like, I remember having a conversation with you, Clay, and you was talking, I think you talked about how like you had brought in like Ralph, like that system that you had created over there, like 100K in sales. Like, what does that do when you can bring in like bread like that? But your bread ain't like that.
Right.
How do you reconcile?
That's when you realize that you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that humbling experience of like, oh wow, like I did that, then I can clearly do that by myself.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the way to that extent, but you got something.
Yeah.
And it's not just, oh, I'm working somewhere and it just happened. It's like, no, you did that. You sold that. You did that. So when you sit back and realize that, I didn't make that 100,000. I didn't get anything near that, but also I know one day I can get that for myself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a, I don't want to say like an epiphany, but kind of like that, like, I can do this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Versus this, like, oh man, what the hell? You know what I mean? And then being angry and then kind of resenting what happened instead of just saying, oh, awesome, I did that, let's move on.
Right.
So
when did y'all like decide like y'all gonna do y'all own shit? Like when did y'all look at each other and y'all like, you know what, let's do?
I mean, I feel like, you know, we were doing it, so it was like a space where it was like, okay, we're doing our own thing. Why don't we really make this our own thing and not have to like involve some bigger brand that's gonna like supposed to make our brand bigger? You know, it's like it's great. It's a awesome opportunities to work with great brands and great creative people. At the same token, it's even better when you're able to work for yourself and do the things that you know you might think are best, or you kind of want to do and kind of attack. So. So I think it's just a level of understanding where you are and where you sit and what you can do and what you can't do. So it's like, you know, why not try? Why not, you know, put yourself out there and just take the risk and not sit back and be like, why didn't we do it? I think I just live in a space where it's like, I don't want to live in regrets. So I'd rather just try it. If it doesn't work out, at least I can say I tried. And I can't look back in 50 years and be like, why didn't I try?
Cool.
You know.
Nah, that's real shit. So the brothers brought some literature because this is lit. So they brought some literature. Reparations is a must. We're gonna line this table up. The Lion Roar selected speeches and letters from Haile Selassie. Boom, we got that. What else we got here? We got the Miseducation, Carter G. Woodson, with the notes inside.
You know it.
Book is falling at the seams, so you know the book has been loved. And we got this.
All right, that's Haile Selassie's travels all through Asia.
Damn.
So it's a beautiful book.
So
That's
walk us through from A to Z.
All right. I'm gonna do these two, and then Clayton can do these two.
How the fuck would y'all do it like that?
Yeah.
I don't know, just to make it weirder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because personally, I love that first book. I love this book here. So these two right there mean so much to me. Granted, all these books do, but these two.
All right, so y'all gonna tag team. So you get this one, then you get this. So
right.
So boom.
So I'm gonna start there. That book there is an amazing book I got. We did a little spot at one of my favorite shops that we go to a lot.
Where we did our lit thing at. The same shop.
The same shop. Josh Sun shop.
Yeah.
So my homie Josh Sun, he has an amazing shop called Heroes in Brooklyn.
So
Nostrand and Dean.
Okay.
Oh no, Kingston and
Dean. Sorry.
Kingston and Dean, guys. 111 Dean, Kingston and Dean.
Yeah.
Heroes. Amazing books. Super cultural brother. Amazing guy to talk to. Anyways, this book is all of Haile Selassie's travels to Asia. I don't know if there's even more of these things. I'm so blessed to even have one. It's so beautiful because it's a level of showing. This is like maybe 40 something, 50 something. Yeah. This man traveled the whole world. I mean, I don't think people really fathom and understand like what that means for us as black people. Like, we weren't doing that. Like, black kings weren't traveling the world and getting love. Black people weren't getting love at that time. We were being taken over and colonized and beaten and destroyed.
US was just coming out of
all them kind of things.
So it's like
it was just beautiful just to witness the love that he got wherever he went. You know what I mean? And the mightiness and the power that someone can bring by just holding up their royalness, you know? So it's just
also
a beautiful thing.
I will say a lot of people just think that when Haile Selassie went to Jamaica, that's the only place that people went crazy. And there was some wild uproar, you know what I mean? Like, everywhere he went, people went crazy. So it's like, it wasn't like, it was only black people that recognized that he was this amazing king. Like, no, everybody. So that's something that this book really showed me. And I was kind of set back because, you know, just like I said, everybody always just mentions Jamaica and that was the only place that he got the most love. And it's like, that's
it's probably the most love from black people abroad. Yeah. Because obviously you're going to Asian nations, so you know they're not, they're not Africans or black people. You know. Granted, they carry the same amount of enthusiasm and love and royalness. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just a level to the royalty more than anything else. It's like, you know, we can show up anywhere and be treated nice.
Yeah.
But when they lay down a red carpet and you have an 80-foot statue of yourself in another country, is a whole nother vibe. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
a
what's the
whole
name of
nother
this
thing.
book? Because we also do a podcast, so
It's
because
just
people can't see it.
It's just Selassie's travels to Asia. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know.
Super rare book.
How, yeah,
Right,
it's
super rare.
It's like a grail of mine. Like seriously, like
Yeah.
that book will go in my grave.
In your grave.
Yeah, it will go inside it.
Bury me with
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna make
my
a copy.
Selassie book.
I'm making copies for my children, but that's coming with me. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And Clayton can do the
so-
next one.
Miseducation
The
of the Negro.
Miseducation of the Negro. I'm sure a lot of you hopefully have heard of it. If not, please go out and find it. I'm sure it's at your local bookstore. Hopefully, if it's not, tell the owner of the bookstore they have to get it. It's a must for every black person or any ethnic person in any kind of ethnicity. You need to have it. So, come on, Chris. Going
That
too close to the mic.
beat up iPhone
So,
4.
Miseducation of a Negro. You have to get it. The beautiful part about this book that was written a very long time ago and is still relevant today
Yeah.
for all of us.
People that don't know, like Dr. Carter G. Woodson was the first. He invented Black History Month. Started as Negro History Week, and then it expanded.
Boom.
Yeah.
So you can already tell what's going to be in the book.
Yeah.
Homie started Black History Month.
read one of your favorite. You got you look like you got some notes in there. Let's read like
Let me let him go to the next, and then
Yeah.
I'll
So take
I'll
us through
find
this book
something.
and you
All
find
right.
something.
So
drop
this book here is Lion Roars. It's
Okay.
selected speeches and letters of His Majesty Haile Selassie.
Okay.
It also has great letters and things from other dignitaries and amazing people and things that he was a part of. It's an amazing book just to kind of give you a real look at a capsule in time and politics and a real understanding of what it means to be a king, a god, and someone who's like here that's still like on earth and still a real person. So it's a beautiful thing to see how people spoke of His Majesty and spoke to him and and how he was able to work with the world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a situation to where he didn't understand his place. Like he really understood his place. He understood his value in the world.
Yeah.
And really what he was bringing, which was peace and love and hopefully a oneness. You know what I'm saying? And that's for me, which was like one of the best things about this book is just hearing how he's speaking to the world, hearing how he's trying to draw this love from everyone, you know, and not this hatred of war and all these things, you know. It's like at the end of the day,
Keep talking.
United Nations and all these things had to recognize who he was and what he was trying to do, as much as they wanted to, you know, take him out.
Word.
You know.
So I need you to find me something.
Yeah, I'll
because
find you
people
something.
got to know what's in
Yeah,
these books.
yeah.
And then Clayton, I know you're looking at that
So-
one, but reparations is a must.
So Reparations is a must. This is an awesome book. It actually is a series of books that we just found out that on the back this family does. So hopefully I'm going to try to get all the series, and when we launch our website, we'll try to have all these series.
Okay.
Because they're awesome. They show just the Rasta culture across the community. You know, a little bit of everything. So it's kind of like that Rasta bulletin. You know what I mean? So it's just really awesome. It's just gives a lot of knowledge and wisdom and just.
Y'all know about the show that's coming out. I mean, well, it's a show that's in development. I say coming out, but because you know they the dudes who made Game of Thrones, they got this show called The Confederacy or whatever about like what would have happened if the South would have won the Civil War. And so Aaron Magruder and I forget the other guy who did it. They're coming out with a show what would happen if black people got reparations. And so I'm wondering, what do y'all think the world will look like if black people if we got reparations? What does the world look like?
First off,
Okay.
I would hope that black people don't just spend it.
Like the Dave Chappelle
And
sketch.
exactly, because then reparations wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
because if we got it and we just spent it haphazardly, then we just got it, and then now then we look silly, and then it's like this is why we didn't give y'all no money. Right. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter. So it's like, if we got it, I would hope that we took it seriously and did right by our own community and didn't just spend it in their community, which is go buy more Tiffany's or go buy more Jordans or go buy more of their own community shit instead of reinvesting in our own community. So my main thing is reinvesting in our own community, and that's what I would hope if we did give reparations.
Yeah. Let me ask you, both of y'all, what in your mind would reparations look like? Would it only be monetary? Because I think that's it's an easy way of reparations, because it's like there's so much that's been done to like fuck niggas up.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that's the one thing we don't have.
I think money. Reparations for me, I think it's even bigger than that. I think reparations for me is just like burning the Constitution and rewriting. Like I don't mean that to be so vulgar, but it's just like a real thing. Like at the end of the day, we're talking about a group of white dudes from 1490 whenever that wrote some shit for them and their people who were coming over. You know what I mean? Like, so it's still a level of like, they weren't thinking about young black dudes being creative. They weren't thinking about nobody. Yeah, nobody of that sense at all. You know what I mean? So there's, and not even just on that microscopic level, just in the sense of like, there was no thought of peoples like as a whole. It was them. And what they wanted and their ideas. So it's a level of like, what are we really doing? Like, what are we really a part of? What are we really like saying is just? Like, you know what I mean? Like, really? Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are these dudes?
Just getting money enough? Like, that's the thing.
Exactly. And that's the point. It's like, there's no level of money that's going to still take away, like, the fact that like a black dude can get shot and like nothing happened to a dude that's like doing his job, that's not doing his job. You know what I'm saying? Like your job is to protect and do all these things.
To bring another book into the subject.
Boom. Okay.
This is why we, you know what I'm saying? Like, money cannot take away that. You know what I'm saying? Money's not going to take away the fact that there's a book called History of Slavery. You see what I'm saying? And that there is an history of slavery. And that it was that long, and that, you know what I mean? In this book, it just talks about things that are just like, I can't believe that happened, and that we have to sit back and not be angry about it.
No,
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like that I can't be angry about this anymore because it happened so long ago. That's not fair to me. You know what I'm saying.
And that's the other thing about, for me, like when I'm thinking about reparations, I'm not only thinking about like, because I feel like in this country, that money is supposed to be this thing that's supposed to make things okay. Like, I burned down your house, but I buy you a new house.
Right, exactly. It's like,
and it's like, like the things that was in that house had a value beyond money. And so to me, like, I think part of reparations is money. But I think the other part is a sort of like this country reckoning with the history of that.
Right.
Meaning, like, I was reading this what was it was a article by Ta-Nehisi Coates writing about like this whole thing. Like, you know, people talk about what if the South won the Civil War as if they didn't win the Civil War. Like if you look at what the South looks like, if you look at what this country looks like, for black people, for people of color, you can't really tell the difference between a northern wind and a southern wind, because the Confederate flag still flies in the South. He was like, after like the Holocaust, he was like, German soldiers was like lynched and killed, a lot of them. He was like, none of the soldiers and the generals in the Confederacy were tried for treason, for trying to secede from the Union. So it's like, what really happened? What was the real loss on white men who fought in the Confederacy, as opposed to the losses that black people had faced in this country go beyond that war, right? And so for me, like, what reparations would look like for me is like, to reckon with the history of this is to really look at like, one, just how fucked up like the mentality and the way we see things, because like that, and it's also to look at how many years we haven't been allowed to participate in a system that was actually built on the destruction of our bodies. And so when you give money, right, like, and money is like, when you give money to a system that's already predicated on destroying you, all that money is going to do is fully fund the further destruction.
Right.
So that's what you said. Like it's like you give money, and it's like, all right, now I got the money, but I still got the destructive mindset. So I'm going to spend the money counterintuitively, as opposed to what we said. What we were talking about is like, I'm starting to understand what money is really for, and it's really about investing into people's futures. It's really about putting yourself in a place where I see you being here later.
Right.
And I feel like with the history of slavery, like the whole idea of slavery, not even the whole reality of slavery was predicated on our bodies not having a future.
Right.
And if there was a future, it wasn't it wasn't something we got to determine for ourselves. It was something like, no, I'm going to tell you where your body belongs. You don't get to tell. You don't get to decide your destiny. I'm gonna decide your destiny. You don't even have a destiny because you're not a person. You're property.
Right. But I'm sorry. Let me chime in real quick. Now, the thing that's crazy about that, and that's something that we got hip to with Farrakhan, some speech that we heard from not too long ago, was that he was saying in the idea of, when we weren't allowed to vote, we weren't allowed to be a part of the army. In World War I, we fought to be in the army. For what?
Yeah.
When we were excluded from it because we weren't allowed to be. So we should have sat back and not been a part of something that we ultimately killed ourselves. Like we basically raised our hand to commit suicide. We're like, oh yeah, we all want to be a part of the wars. Oh, bet we're gonna put you on front lines then.
Yeah.
So we fought to be a part of something to die. So it's like, instead of the idea that we thought we were going to be a part of it, and then they're going to make us a part of America. Yeah. When it's like, you're just like Chris said, we weren't written into America. So why are you trying to fight for something you're not
that's
a part of?
Right?
Yeah, straight up. So that's the kill. So,
and y'all in Rastafari philosophy, it's the I and I, right? And it's interesting because like Malcolm X has said this of like the slave mentality is like the pronoun that slaves function on. And we live in a working mentality where we function off of we, right? Like, and I noticed this, like you work with higher ups, they'll always say, what can we do to fix X? But it's like, we really means what you got to do. Right. But it's like, they make you feel like you're made to feel like this is a team effort. Right, you're but when you look at the work and then who's putting out the actual work, is not the person who's saying that. So it's also a thing of like, I feel like with the Constitution was like that when they say we the people, not we the, like for example, you said we like peoples, like pluralism, and not as opposed to the singular body. Right. And it's like a lot of people from like a slave mentality had already in their minds had worked out that that they were a part of the we. So when they was like, oh no, I too, like what Langston Hughes says, like I too sing America, and I don't really feel like it's a thing of. Partially, I don't feel like it's a thing of just like, oh, like an Uncle Tom sort of selling out type shucking and jiving thing. I think it's like a way in which you learn to identify. And if you've been taught to identify yourself as something you're not, I feel like that's the first injury. Right. It's like you already see yourself as a part of something that's not a part of you. So like you're automatically fucked. But at this time, this is why I think that you got to read some of that miseducation. But before you read that, before you pop that, we got to pop these Martinellis open so I can walk y'all through this dope ass this drink. Where that marker at? Do I have the marker? Probably have the marker.
Right here. Is this the marker?
Yeah, this is good. So this is the drink of this is the gin and juice of the show. It's called Marduce. It's 3 parts Martinelli's, or 1 part Marduce. I mean 1 part Duce. Shout out to Hove on this. Made something that goes down easy and doesn't come up rough. Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
So what we gonna do? All right, I walk everybody through it. What you gonna do is you gonna drink past the leaves. Okay. So you gonna do that.
I don't mind that. One of my favorite drinks.
All right. And I'm gonna boom. Shake that up. A little counterclockwise motion. Get it how you live. Alright. Hold on, we gotta toast this up. Alright. For coming. Thank y'all, brother. Boom.
Sir.
Boom.
Sir.
Boom.
Boom. Smooth. That's refreshing.
have to shoot a commercial like a family picnic. Are you tired of the same old drinks at your barbecue? Drink Marduce. Get you some Marduce. The type of drink that goes down these doesn't come up. But read that miseducation.
All right. So the beautiful part about this book is that even in the first chapter, you got gems. So I'm gonna read you the first page, first chapter, because it's just that lit. So first off, the Miseducation of the Negro, Chapter 1, The Seat of the Trouble. The educated Negroes have the attitude of contempt towards their own people because in their own, as well as in their mixed schools, Negroes are taught to admire the Hebrew, the Greek, the Latin, and to despise the African. Of the hundreds of Negro high schools recently examined by an expert in the United States Bureau of Education, only 18 offered a course taking up the history of the Negro. And in most of the Negro colleges and universities where the Negro is taught of, the race is studied only as a problem or dismissed as of little consequence. For an example, an officer of a Negro university, thinking that an additional course on the Negro school should be given there, called upon a Negro doctor of philosophy of the faculty to offer such work. He promptly informed the officer that he knew nothing about the Negro. He did not go to the school to waste his time that way. So
break that down for us.
The thing that's crazy about this, and something that I didn't really think about until my older age, is that
how old are y'all? Just so
I'm 30, so I'm really not that old, but whatever.
Okay.
So it's like we didn't think about having an African American course growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't think of that being a thing, and that's something that I needed because I was black. So you think being black that I know everything about being black.
Right.
And it's like, no, you actually don't know nothing about being black because you don't even know who Medgar Evers is. And you think that's a woman. You don't know anything. You don't know who Haile Selassie is. You don't know so many people that really mean something to our community that they X out because they only want to talk. They only want to give us just a little bit of nothing, and then not even really give you that. So it's like, when you sit back and think about it, you're like, wow, we've only been taught this European mindset. So now when we talk about black things, we're turned off because we think we're being pro-black. And it's like, no, you're just trying to find out about your fucking self. So it's like, that's what really hurt me in reading things like this, because it's like, even in this time, even in the 40s, all the way until now, we still don't have it. So it's like, when are we going to change? When are we going to wake up and realize that we need to come as one and really understand each other and grow and not just stay at 12 o'clock? Man, you know what I mean?
That's bars right there. What you got? What you got on your side?
Oh man, I wish I could read it all, but I can't. So this is just a little excerpt from Haile Selassie. So just to give you a little breakdown real quick. So when Selassie was in charge, obviously it's like, 1930s. This is when Africa is being totally invaded by all Western powers to be colonized. So a few nations joined the League of Nations at this time, and supposedly if you joined this League of Nations, they weren't supposed to fuck with you. Excuse my language.
Now this is our show. We can say what we want.
It's a level of like, oh cool, like I signed this, we all agreed, we all looked face to face, and we all were like, cool, we won't fuck with each other, you know what I'm saying? And obviously we found that to be false, you know what I'm saying? So this is just a little excerpt from, when Haile Selassie was speaking to the nations and kind of just trying to understand where, I thought we were all a part of this whole thing. I thought we were doing this whole thing together.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that we would work under these certain circumstances.
Yeah.
So this is just one excerpt. The members of the League undertake to respect and preserve as against external aggression the territorial.
Start over.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's good.
The members of the League undertake to respect and preserve as against external aggression the territorial integrity and existing political independence of all members of the League. In case of any such aggressions, or in case of any threat or danger of such aggressions, the council shall advise upon the means by which the obligation shall be fulfilled. So this is a small excerpt in a sense of saying, like, if someone's messing with me, right? We all agreed, like, let's say all of us friends here, we agreed that we're gonna, hold each other up. We're not gonna fuck with each other.
Yeah, keep talking.
If that's the case, if anyone has an issue, we should all be able to talk about this issue. You shouldn't just come and just be aggressive towards me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We should be able to talk about this. We should be able to put this aggression on the table, and we should be able to say, okay, I don't like this, I like this, and we should be able to talk it out like grown men. And it shouldn't come to a point of war. Like, why are we warring when we're sitting in a room talking about it?
Well,
why do my people have to die? Why do your people have to die because of our issue? You know what I mean? Like, our issues or a misunderstanding or whatever it may be. Or why is it a thing? Why you have to take over my country? Why can't you be happy with your land?
Yeah.
Why do you need that extra power? Like, there's enough for everybody. Like, there's plenty. There's plenty.
And the background for this is there were 32 members who made up the original members of the League of Nations. Included in that grouping were Liberia, Haiti, South Africa, and Panama, all nations of color. Mm-hmm. Ethiopia would become a member in 1923, having been sponsored by France and Italy. In his speech of 1938, these were the 4 articles he quoted. And as you were speaking, I read it because I was also trying to see like how the language functioned,
right?
And what the language is saying is like who gets to be recognized as human, right?
Exactly.
So like part of this attack on your nation is like, well, I don't deem y'all worthy of, like, even the fact that they got to be sponsored by France and Italy, like, two European nations to even get into the League of Nations. Like, that's crazy. That's language of like
even a sense of why is Italy attacking them? If Italy's a part of
if you're the reason why sponsoring me,
the reason why
you here, like, why are you trying to take over my whole situation?
Why are we warring? Like, what is the issue? What are you talking about?
So it's power, right?
Yeah,
it's power, and people don't realize it is a spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, the Pope signed off with Mussolini to attack Haile Selassie, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering line of tribe of Judah. So when you say the Pope is going against the line of Judah, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at that time, the church and state were the same thing. So we can't say that Mussolini did it all on his own. He had to go to the Pope, and the Pope had to say, go to war. Mm-hmm. So for a religious figure to say, let's go to war, it's crazy.
And the last person that happened to was, they call him Jesus. That's what they say in the book. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an interesting thing. You know what I mean? It's more of a thing where we all have to understand, where us as a people is, where we stand, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And what we have behind us. And we have people like this who did their best to hold it up, you know what I'm saying? And make sure we were a part, you know what I'm saying? And that we weren't being left out. We weren't being looked at as unhumane or savages or whatever they want to call us, you know what I mean? Because we're not.
Mm-hmm. So how do y'all sublimate this into y'all swag? Because I think a lot of times when people look at the way, black people dress, especially, young black men, and they look at us when we dress and they'll see like, oh, like this kid like don't got his head on the shoulder. Like people look at my feet, they got the narrative about a kid with Jordans. He don't got his, he's not like, cultured because he's buying Jordans. And it's like it's a very one-dimensional way to look at somebody's psychology and what informs their culture. So how do y'all find ways to like reconcile the deep influences that y'all have with how y'all present yourselves to the world?
I think for me it's more or less just like I was saying before, just knowing what you have on, like knowing about the things that you're wearing, knowing about what you're putting on your back, because at the end of the day that's what's representing you. So it's like it's like you're wearing a Chicago jersey. It's like if you have some meaning behind it, about it, or with something value to you, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? So it's like, So
this wasn't a deep. this particular outfit was just like I just fuck with the jersey. It was on sale at Urban Outfitters, and I was like, fuck it.
I need that.
Yeah. But it goes with your swag. You know what I'm saying? So it's like as long as it has some value to you. You know what I'm saying? That's at least for me. That's how I get dressed. You know what I mean? It's like if it's something that has value to me and something that represents me in some way, I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's also my point of this book is just we don't know anything about each other. So it's like I'm always pushing Rasta. I always want to wear the red, gold, and green. I always want to push something that you're gonna be like, yo, what's that? So I can tell you. And then now you're more educated. So then now you can go back and, maybe do some research. It might not be today or tomorrow, but one day you're going to be like, damn, let me see what he said, or I remember that. So it's just kind of, my thing is just uplifting and wearing things that show you that I'm proud and that there's nothing to not be proud about. And that's something that we're good at. We're good at shunning our own stuff because we're not proud of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to start standing up and being proud of ourselves and supporting people like Puffy and getting Revolt on if you got cable, get Revolt. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna go get HBO, you're gonna go get Showtime, spend that $10 on Revolt, and it's going to a black person. It's not going to some super rich white dude that got mad networks.
Yeah, even
you know what I'm saying.
So it's just like that. It's just that idea. Cause I feel like a lot of times we do a lot of stuff to like discredit people who look like us,
right?
As opposed to being like, all right, like well, it's like all right, well. Puffy, like the thing they said about Ciroc, like, well, Puffy is not the owner of Ciroc, he's the brand ambassador, whatever. But the fact of the matter, like when Jay set that line on 444, it was less about, all right, even whoever really owns it, the fact of the matter is invest with people who identify with what you're a part of.
Right.
And so what happens when you are, you look for every reason not to invest in people who look like you, but you don't need that many reasons to spend with people who don't look like you, right? Like you're not sitting there like sometimes, like only recently am I making like conscious efforts to like, that's why we have Deuce here and not Hennessy. Because it's like a Jay thing or whatever. And like people could say what they want, like, oh, well, Jay doesn't invest. It's like the fact of the matter is this is a decision that I'm deciding to take for my own life, right? And it's interesting that when you decide that you want to invest with people who look like you, I've seen that there's more pushback than when you be like, if I wear like Margielas, there's not a
people are like, oh, those are dope. Like, oh, I got those too.
Yeah, but then it's like, if you decide to wear Yeezys, like, why would you pay so much money for a pair of Yeezys? And it's like Margielas cost 3 times as much as Yeezys, but I'm wasting my money.
And nobody's hawking at the price. Nobody's like, oh my God, there's so much money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna save for that. Yeah. But you wouldn't save for your own people shit though. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But you're supposed to get it for free or get it at a discount.
Always.
That's crazy, son.
But I think that makes like the shit that we do, like it's y'all making clothing line, and you could talk about this because I see the card like LFANT and all the like everything y'all been working on. I know that makes it hard for y'all because people look and they go like, how can I get this at a price lower than what it's worth?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the state of where we're at. I guess I don't know. I don't even know what to even call it, but. We also do this brand called LFANT. It's spelled LFANT.
Boom.
Stands for Live Free Above Negative Thinking.
Boom.
And it's elephant, like the animal, not LaFant. I know it's
not
spelled
LaFont,
but
it's not
pronounced elephant.
Like
you know what I'm saying? We still black people. You know what I mean? We still want it to be pronounced as it's not spelled. You know what I'm saying? So don't trip. You know what I'm saying? It's LaFont, but we pronounce it elephant. And it stands for Live Free Above Negative Thinking, which is something that we try to live by every day. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want us to be. Is negative. The whole world is negative, as they say. The con is good and the pro is bad, right? So is the Constitution bad and prostitution good? Boom. It's things we gotta think about. So it's not, maybe in a literal sense, but just the idea that, we live in this world that's completely backwards. So just try to reverse it and then see the world as it really is.
Boom. I think that's a great point to like start to end this out on. Before y'all leave, I gotta bless y'all. This is yours with the lit pen.
Give thanks.
This is yours.
Boom, boom. Oh, come in a little fancy little box.
Yeah.
I can get the box back?
Yeah. You got it upside down, man. Yeah. That's the lit pen. Y'all got that for coming on the show. Yeah, good looking. So where can people follow y'all? Give us the hashtags, the handles. Where can people follow?
All right, everything is the Griggs Brothas, not brothers.
Yeah,
Brothas
with the
THAS. Griggs, the THEGRIGGS BROTHAS. Brothas.
Okay.
The Griggs Brothas.
And then the website dropping.
The website is LFANT, LFANTNYC.com. And the GriggsBrothas.com will be coming soon too. But You can find us at Instagram at the Griggs Brothas.
Dope. Any events coming up? I know y'all did an event with Jeff Staples. Was it Jeff Staples?
Yeah,
it was a little Kohan thing. That was nothing.
But we're doing a pop up in LA.
It was lit though. It was dope.
It was dope. We had a little competition they did.
Right.
They got like a few, Instagram, people come together and influencers, as they want to call it. They did a little 20-minute contest, I guess, and you get the shoes, take it out, and do whatever you want to do with them. So
whoever came with the coolest picture, that was a contest.
Yeah. We came in a really close second place, so it was great. The homie Skinny
NYC.
Skinny NYC, definitely check the brother out. Awesome photographer, great dude. Did an amazing photo. He sat on top of a taxi. It was pretty tough. I can't fake. That shit was fire. So you know what I'm saying? Well deserved. You know what I'm saying?
But we,
at the same token, we're doing this pop up shop at the end of the month.
Okay.
August. We're going to try to set up for like August 21st. Between 21st, 24th, we're going to set up.
Passport.
We'll be at Passport in LA for about 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
So definitely come check us out. That's like off Fairfax. I'll make sure Yadon puts it all in the thing.
Yeah, we're going to do the post-production. We're going to line it up. We're going to do it nice.
All that will be there. But yeah, so definitely come check us out here in LA. If not, definitely follow us on the social media end, and we'll
DM us if you want some embroideries.
Keep things updated so you can follow us, check us out, see what we're doing, be a part of whatever we're doing, and make sure you show love to everybody.
Okay,
Word
cool.
up.
I need your literary. Chris, I had yours. I know Carter G. Woodson was in yours. I did yours. Never did your literary swag. So we're gonna have fun with it. So we're gonna do it like you're gonna give me one writer, you're gonna give me another one. Okay. So it's 3-3 and the designers.
3 designers. Okay.
So all right. So first writer.
Carter G. Woodson.
Oh my God. I'm doing Francis Scott Weldon.
Maya Angelou.
Boom.
Clothing?
No, writers.
Oh.
Second.
I'm gonna go with damn. I didn't even think about this.
Come on, Brody.
I'll go with His Majesty's speeches. You know what I mean?
Boom.
Boom, boom. I'm gonna go with Von Benjamin. He's an amazing poet. Please look it up. His poems are amazing.
And I don't know. To me, I don't know.
What about that poet dude y'all fuck with? Josh. You fuck with Josh.
Oh, Josh Kenneth. Josh Kenneth? Joe
Is it Joshua Bennett?
Bennett? I don't know.
Who's the dude y'all try to put me onto? He's a poet.
Yeah, I think his name is John Kenneth.
Okay.
John Kenneth.
All right.
Joe Kenneth.
Joe Kenneth. All
Let
right.
me get this right. We'll get it right though.
We'll get it right.
Yeah, we'll get it right.
You want to pull your phone out?
Yeah.
Everybody,
Young brother's dirty.
Shit.
Young brother's super nice and super talented, so I definitely want you to check him out.
We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. But in the meantime.
Yeah, Joe Kenneth.
Check
the brother out. Amazing poet. Good brother. He's actually about to release something he's doing, I think, relatively soon. So definitely check him out. You can check him out on Instagram, just Joe Kenneth.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, he's a great
Great
poet.
The first one.
I'm gonna go with Edwin and Everett Hall.
LFANT.
Public school.
New Way of Life, my brand.
Rebels to Dons.
Boom. So this is your Don Israel. This is my boy Chris, Clayton Griggs. This is Lit. Follow us at Lit Platform. Follow me at Yadon. Follow at Pink Pig Productions. These are the team that's doing the work behind the camera. Shout out to my boy Danny.
Thank
Shout
you,
out
Danny.
to Surreal Jules. This is Lit. We out, baby.